Miami Heat played their first in-season tournament game, and the sideline was on the court.
The Dolphins say Guten Tag from Germany in a matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs.
And we get fan thoughts on Miami Heat culture jerseys. All of this and more coming up on the sideline. Hello, South Florida, and welcome to the sideline. I'm Anthony Cruz. This is the place where you get all your highlights for your South Florida teams.
And I'm Jamie Nunez, and the sideline starts now.
This morning, the Heat woke up just a little bit above last place in the Eastern Conference. Sideline's Pablo Hernandez was courtside for their in-season tournament debut against the Wizards.
The Miami Heat have had a rocky start to the season as they boast an Eastern Conference worst 1-4 record. However, they can turn things around as they host the Washington Wizards in the first ever end-season tournament game here at the Kaseya Center.
The Miami Heat did not expect to start their season with the worst record in the Eastern Conference. As they faced the Wizards in the first ever in-season tournament game, Coach Eric Spoelstra decided to start Haywood Highsmith over Kevin Love.
Look, nobody likes being 1-4, losing 4 straight. It sucks. I hate having to make those kind of decisions because from everybody outside, it looks like it's an indictment on one particular player. It's not. It's really not. I hated having, to make that move because Kevin, brings, so much from a spirit and connection and leadership standpoint.
One main reason why the Miami Heat are still not completely under the water is Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero has been playing out of his mind, and versus the Wizards, he almost achieved a triple-double with 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. Hero speaks on his mindset about trying to get that last assist for the triple-double.
Yeah, I was aware of it. My teammates were trying to help me get that last assist. Obviously, we played to win. We had the lead big, and I think more importantly, just closing out the game. I wasn't trying to just get my 10th assist. I'll get a triple-double at some point if it happens. If not, we'll take the win.
The Miami Heat improved their record to 2-4 as they beat the Washington Wizards 121-114 in the first ever in-season tournament game at the Kaseya Center. The Miami Heat now lead Group East B in the in-season tournament with 1 win.
The Miami Heat continue their homestand as they host LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers on Monday, November 6th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. For Caplin News, this is Pablo Hernandez.
The Hurricanes head back to North Carolina for the second time this season, a place where they haven't had much success. This time they face the Wolfpack of North Carolina State. Their bad luck continued against North Carolina teams with a disappointing showing. This past Saturday, Miami's offense turned the ball over 4 times and failed to score a touchdown. North Carolina State finished on top 20-6. Miami now has a conference record of 2-3, and their conference championship hopes are all but finished. The Canes will have a chance to redeem some pride next Saturday as they face their rival and currently number 4 ranked Florida State.
The Florida Panthers lost on the road to the Chicago Blackhawks on Friday night. Chicago's goalie Peter Mrazek had 38 saves, all but 2 of Florida's 40 shots on goal. The Panthers fell behind 3-0 in the first period and 4-0 in the second after generational talent Connor Bedard scored in his 3rd straight game. Panther defenseman Oliver Ekman-Larsson put the Cats on the board with a PowerPoint goal, which was soon followed up by center Matthew Tkachuk's goal with 8 minutes left in the period. Although the Cats had a late push in cardiac Cats fashion, it wasn't enough. The final score was Panthers 2, Chicago 5. The Florida Panthers play Columbus Blue Jackets on Monday night at home.
There's football in Germany, American football that is. It's the Miami Dolphins who played their biggest game of the year in Frankfurt against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs got off to a hot start, scoring on their opening drive and dropping 21 points by halftime. And for the Dolphins, it was the complete opposite story, with the Finns being held scoreless in the first half for the first time since 2011. Despite the rough start, the Dolphins were able to turn it around, scoring 14 points in the 3rd quarter and bringing the game within 1 possession. However, Miami fell short of making the comeback, losing 21-14. The Finns have some time to rest as they have their bye coming up this week, and they'll look to bounce back against the Raiders, who are coming off a dominant win. Joining us on the sideline is Dolphins analyst Zeth Leon. Zeth, what did you see from that loss to the Chiefs Sunday morning?
That was a tough loss. That was a tough loss. The Dolphins offense did not look great, obviously, and you know there is some hope for the defense. The defense did show out in the second half. You know, they held Patrick Mahomes, best quarterback in the league, scoreless, and they gave the offense a real shot. You know, aside from that opening drive, the defense played very well, and the offense didn't back them up. And the offense has been, you know, the staple of this team this year, and they didn't, you know, appear at the big moment when they were needed. And a big penalty is what led to us scoring our second touchdown. We got bailed out there. So that game was rough for the Dolphins. I think they have a lot of, you know, internal looking to do to see if they can bounce back.
Now, Zeth, I do have to apologize to start because we always bring you under such negative circumstances.
Yeah.
But I just have to, the Dolphins still remain one in the AFC East. So how do you think they fare with the rest of the division leaders in the league?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's a great point. The Dolphins are still atop the AFC East. And, you know, with the record going, their schedule going forward, it's pretty clear the Dolphins should make the playoffs and are going to win games. But at this point, it's fair to question if they are capable of beating the top teams. As we've seen, they haven't beaten a top 500 team in over a year. It's getting to a point where it's getting ridiculous, and we need to see Mike McDaniel and Tua show up in these moments. We need to see them prove themselves. They have a couple tests ahead where they will get that opportunity, but you know, it's fair to question at this point, and I don't know if we can talk about them anymore as one of the top 5 teams in the league until they do so. They're taking care of the teams that are, you know, that they should be, which good teams are supposed to do. You take care of the teams that you're supposed to be that are below you, but we need to see you do it against real competition.
Well, let's hope the Dolphins can step up their game in the second half of the season. Now we're going to move into our biggest W and L segment. Jamie, do you want to kick us off?
Sure. My biggest W would have to be for the Miami Marlins and Josh Bell. Being able to have Josh Bell pick up his option to stay with the Miami Marlins is absolutely huge, especially after finding out Jorge Soler is opting out of his contract with the Miami Marlins. So for now, that's my biggest dub.
All right, well, I'm going to move into basketball. We're going to talk about the Warriors with Chris Paul. You know, we all talked in the summer about the 38 for 24-year-old move, but it's actually really panned out. You know, Chris Paul really does cover all of their weaknesses on the offensive end. They were a very high turnover team. Their bench didn't really pick up. Steph Curry would always enter the game down 10 points, but Chris Paul has really stabilized all of the young guys. He has been a very good veteran presence. And they have finally won 4 games on the road to start the season. They did not reach 3 till December last year.
Wow.
So they're starting off really well.
Yeah, some were unsure this guy, maybe my biggest W, wouldn't be a good fit on his team. My biggest W is CJ Stroud. Had an amazing showing last week. Broke the single game passing record for rookies with 470 pass yards. He threw 5 touchdowns, 0 picks, and led his team on a game-winning drive and threw the game-winning touchdown.
My biggest L, unfortunately, would have to be for our Miami Dolphins. Losing in Frankfurt to Zeth, as he was just saying, another good opponent, and the Dolphins just couldn't come out on top. Late game blunders, too many mistakes. My biggest L has to be for the Miami Dolphins.
Man, have you guys seen those in-season NBA courts? I'm not even going to talk about the fact that no player has any idea what's going on in the tournament. Just the courts. When you were watching the Indiana Pacers and Cavaliers game, I was literally asking, did the Monstars throw up on this court? There are way too many colors. You can barely even see the players during the Heat game. It's just a mess, just like the season tournament.
Yeah. Speaking of hard things to look at, the USC defense, you cannot watch. It's hard to keep your eyes off because the offense that they're going against is making so many plays. The last 6 games, they've given up 41, 41, 48, 34, 49, and 52. They just fired the defensive coordinator following a loss to Washington, giving up 52 points. USC's defense is down there in the slumps right now, and they got to face an Oregon team next week who's averaging 47.4 points a game. So it's not looking too good.
Well, something that's not down in the slumps is the sideline. We're going to break now, but we're going to keep on going after it.
I mean, it's nice. I like the colors.
Are Miami City jerseys worthy of representing Heat culture? We get fan opinions on the Heat's new threads for the season. We'll take a timeout and we'll be back in a moment.
Radcliffe Art and Design Incubator is the velocity accompanying the fellow's rudder, as in a boat. Unless there is movement or action, the planned direction is of little consequence. We encourage the creative ideas into action, and from the experience of doing, we critically assess the feedback, adjust, and set out to rediscover the potentialities of an entrepreneurial mindset.
Stand is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Heat culture has been embedded in NBA lore for years now, but was it really necessary to put it on a jersey? I was outside of the Kaseya Center this weekend to see what fans think.
That can't be real. Is that real?
Bro, I think they're terrible. Like, they're the worst jerseys that we've put out in like the last 10 years.
I'm really not feeling jerseys. Look like practice squad jerseys. Look like summer league jerseys. Ugly, ugly, ugly.
Like, I can't even fathom why they decided to do that.
I mean, it's nice. I like the colors, but just to have culture bigger than the Heat, I'm not sure about that.
I don't know. I don't like the colors. Like, is it supposed to be black? It looks great. It doesn't seem like Heat to me. Like, it's more like this. This is the Heat, or like the old style.
I love Heat culture. That's it. I wish you just said culture like the t-shirts, because if you don't know Heat culture, you don't know culture. So I wish you just said culture, but I'm cool with it. It's not corny unless you get it. And I think the Miami Heat fans get it. But the nation, they don't need to get that. That's just for us. I get one. I got to get my D Wade #3 Heat culture jersey.
So Miami's really going to have to redeem themselves for those horrible Heat jerseys. We're going to go into our game picks now. Let's see if they will. So we're going to start off with the Hurricanes facing their in-state rival, #1 in the ACC, FSU. How do you think it's going to go down, Jamie?
Unfortunately, I wish I could say better things, but I do not feel very good about the Miami Hurricanes taking down the FSU Seminoles right now. I have us taking the L in that one.
Unfortunately, I do too. It's just, I don't know how you build up the momentum of such a horrible loss at NC State. So let's move on to the Florida Panthers, who have started off the season very well. But they've now been they underperformed against the Blackhawks this weekend. How do you think they're going to fare this week?
I think they'll be able to bounce back, with momentum of Kachuk, and him rallying the team. I really do think that the Ice Cats can pull this one off for this match.
Yeah, they have a rematch against the Blackhawks. They are another team that could redeem themselves. So I hope that is the case. I think they're going to have a really good week. So the Heat, we have a few good games. We have a homecoming with LeBron. We have the Grizzlies, we have the Hawks, and we have the Spurs. How do you think the Heat are going to fare? They do need some wins now.
Man, obviously you mentioned the Lakers and LeBron James. I mean, it's going to be really hard to stop him. I really do think that the Miami Heat can pull this one off, especially after the offensive explosion that they had against the Wizards. And, with the Spurs, that caught my eye as well. I mean, I'm going to really be interested to see how we can box out and, contain Victor Wembanyama. I mean, he's just sensational.
Yeah, we're facing two freaks of nature this week in LeBron and Wemby. I don't know how we're really going to fare because we have not been able to beat a playoff team to start the year. But, I think some easier matchups against the Grizzlies throughout the week can steady the course, and hopefully they could get a big win throughout the week.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Jamie Nunez.
And I'm Anthony Cruz. We'll see you next week on The Sideline.